I think I start with this presentation about a few words about myself, but thank you very much. You did it already. And now I manage XT.com exchange, MENA and CIS region. So I just look around our numbers. It's we have $800 million trades in spot today and $15 billion in the futures. So not bad, very good exchange. I recommend you guys XT.com, you see, on the top. And of course we like listing. So exchanges between tens, 20s, we like listing. And we start to think about something unusual in this case. And we found. And now I tell you this interesting story about that. So first of all, there are problems. Look, I'm an investment banker, and so what we are thinking when we invest projects. First of all, we're thinking about exit strategy. So no one investor in life never invests one penny if he has no idea how he return money back. There are several ways. The easiest way, just generating money, income, you take some money back, okay, easy. Second is when you sell on second stage, on third stage, another investor. Look, the most welcome is management buyout. Everybody likes management buyout. But IPO is number one exit. But today IPO is very difficult to make. You need at least 7 years of audit documentation, so a lot of different difficulties. High financial cost, regulatory requirements. So if you have a registered company in not in the United States, you have some problems. So that's about problems which we have now in our business. I mean, in business, all project business, startup business, in Web3 business. Also, regulatory uncertainty. It's very interesting. We have Security Exchange Commission. We have each country has own regulators, like Bank of India, like VARA here, but very difficult to be in between. And also, we found that most of intellectual property asset is undervalued. What to do? We look through market of intellectual property and find that just only this information. This is dated 5 years ago. United States Patent and Trademark Organization study shows that companies that utilized their intellectual property worth $7.8 trillion. That means today, after 5 years, maybe twice more, but not so much as a real sector of economics. And we started thinking about next, and we find solution. We take project, make intellectual property valuation, then we split it for pieces and connect it to token in blockchain. And at the end of the day, we receive token which backed by intellectual property. When we contact with Security Exchange Commission, they say, guys, this is not for us. I say, whoa, how we can regulate it? I say, you are already regulated. You're regulated by International Intellectual Property Organization. Security Exchange Commission recognizes your tokens as a tool for registration of intellectual property. It's true. We can give to client paper document about his holding of piece of intellectual property, or you can put it in blockchain and receive blockchain sign that client owns this property. So, finding this solution, we found absolutely amazing thing. So, of course, when client receive valuation of intellectual property, in the same time he receive protection of its intellectual property. There are more than 60 types of protection of intellectual property. Most of you knows about patents, but patents is not the best protection of intellectual property. Not the best. No, but this is not about this. I'm not expert in intellectual property. We work with Sanjar Muminov, who is #1 in intellectual property lawyer in the world. It's a reality. This February he received this. Come on. Accurate asset valuation. So I say, I like then presentation is something around, and I talk like normal people talk to each other. So that's benefits of we call it IP fractions. Could I have some water? We call it IP fractions. So this piece of intellectual property. No, very simple, you know. So you evaluate intellectual property for $1 billion, for example, and thank you very much. Split it for 1 billion small pieces. We call it IP fraction. Connected to the blockchain with 1 billion tokens in blockchain, and this is a thing which we go to my exchange, to xt.com, and we have special IP fraction zone, the only place in the world which did it nowadays. So we receive this. I will not read this. Everybody can read in English. This is comparison table. That's the most interesting thing. So starting listing fee, all-in price. So usually NASDAQ costs around 275 and a little bit more. But I add on this amount 1,875,000 expenses, which is audit reports, legal work, everything. Absolutely the same like we do it with IP fractions. For us, our prices, we have flat price for that service, 2,100. Market access, everybody knows that in NASDAQ, there are a lot of countries which is restricted to customers, restricted to buying, sell shares in NASDAQ. Here, in our exchange, everyone can do it. Regulators. About regulators, I say 2 words. Now, so Security Exchange Commission and Intellectual Property Organization. This is two organizations, but very big difference. Access. No, everybody understands that standard exchange needs special brokers, everything else. Cost of transactions. This is very interesting. Cost of transaction, you see that is high. Why is high cost transactions? Everybody sometimes forgot about underwriters. Underwriters usually take 3 to 7% of volume of your emission. On our exchange, we just take listing fee, end of story, and just trading fee is included in any trade. Transparency, of course, in blockchain, you can see everything. When you sell shares, not sell shares, this is different thing. And also, about financial history. Look, so we can list a project which has 0 financial history, but very big potential. It's big difference in our listing. And come on, next. So that means we make, good circle with real world asset, liquidity, and everything else included, in one packet, in one package. On this, for this, that's special. IP fraction represent fractional ownership of intellectual property portfolios of business project listed on a marketplace. No, marketplace, please read xt.com, not other exchange. So this is workflow for IP fractions. So first of all, we evaluate IP assets, then make legal framework for IP fractions, create token and blockchains, So, by the way, here is Jude, is my partner. He's this guy. He's absolutely fantastic in tokenomics and marketing. Then consultation project lifestyle. And then we listed in our exchange, and we have very big pool of investors, private investors. But don't forget about marketing. This is very important because, you know, so I did a lot of listings in my exchange, and there are different stories. That's, I tell you, interesting. I tell you, one day, my friend came to me and say, "Look, I'm gonna have a listing on your exchange." I say, "No problem, please. You know rules, you know so." But he said, "Look, I'm gonna do listing today." I say, "No problem, but you have zero marketing because I need time to promote your listing." He said, "No, you don't understand me. My token listed in your exchange immediately because I have investor. He give you money because my token is already listed." Okay, say no problem. But I say, "Come on, today is midnight in Singapore, so let's do it tomorrow morning." He said, "Yes, transfer money. Tomorrow morning, 5 o'clock here in Dubai." I started. In tomorrow morning and 12 o'clock, he had listing in our exchange. We announced it, of course. But what do you think? How many sales? How many sales from our community, our exchange community, had this token? Very good project. Very good project. Next to zero, because we should prepare your community to good thing, to good project, good everything. By the way, my friend solved his problem, so he received money from investor. After that, he paid for marketing. And his sales started through our community. We have 60% of our users located in Southeast Asia. North Korea, we have very strong community. Japan, Indonesia, of course, Chinese people, very active customers. But you should explain everything. And concerning intellectual property, we do not make listing with a low price without marketing, because so one day we say that's the best. So marketing always included. So next page. So that's about, I told several words about myself, so about xt.com. We have 8 million users and big traffic, and the first and only exchange which work with fractionalized assets. And Sanjar Group, I told you about Sanjar Mominov. This guy is lead company, Sanjar Group, with 200 experts through the world. And he evaluated more than 285 billion intangible assets. So my speech is about how to say, not to say, "Hey, come to me, go with my exchange listing for intellectual property." Well, I'm gonna just widen your vision, because nobody talk about intellectual property from this side like I do now. If you look for real world assets project, okay, in our exchange we have around 16 projects, which is the real world asset token. There are several problems. Of course, first problem is the regulatory problem. And sometimes it's difficult to evaluate it, and sometimes valuation is not so good. Intellectual property, very simple. There is standard how to evaluate intellectual property. And our expert knows this standard very good. And of course, they prove this standard by how to say, intellectual property organization, so everything is understandable. And just 1 month ago, I sit in hall and listen a panel of speakers. That was 5 speakers in Blockchain Live. They say, "Come on, real world assets, it's very easy to do it, but we don't know how." This is a solution. Intellectual property, you can take any real-world asset and pack it as intellectual property and receive all advantages, which I show you in this small presentation. So I think a lot of people in this hall know me, and people who don't know me, please come meet me. This is my contacts. And thank you for your attention.